Most people don't think twice about their bathroom. It's the place where the day begins, lights on, water running, mirror fogged up. But if you've ever felt like something in your life has been quietly slipping away, even when you've been doing everything right, this overlooked space might be the reason. Not because it's dirty, not because it's cluttered, but because energy, like money, like clarity, like motivation, doesn't just flow. It leaks. And your bathroom, with its constant running water, steam, drains, mirrors, and enclosed layout, might be silently draining more than you know. Think about it: water is movement. In many cultures, it symbolizes wealth. And your bathroom is the one room in the house where water disappears every single day. Every flush, every rinse, every hot shower pulls energy downward and out. It's not something you feel right away. But over time, the effects can build: fatigue you can't explain, fogginess you can't shake, a strange sense that things used to move faster, your plans, your goals, your money, and now they don't. But here's the thing no one tells you. The bathroom doesn't have to be a lost zone. It can become a keeper of energy, a quiet reservoir. And the shift doesn't require remodeling, crystals, or incense. It begins with something simpler, something alive. There are 8 specific plants that, when placed intentionally in your bathroom, don't just decorate the space, they transform it. Each one holds a distinct energetic function. One protects, one opens pathways, another stabilizes, one absorbs tension, and so on. Together, they create a quiet system, a natural filter that doesn't just cleanse air, but helps slow the leak of your energy and wealth. So if you've ever felt like something's slipping, but you can't quite name, it maybe it's time to look in the one place you never thought to check. Why your bathroom is the real wealth leak. Most people think of their bathroom as a place to clean up, freshen up, move on with the day. But few realize it may also be the space where your energy, your wealth, motivation, even peace of mind slips away unnoticed. Not in a dramatic way, not all at once, but in a quiet, persistent stream, like a slow leak beneath the floorboards you didn't know was there until the damage was done. The bathroom is a room of constant movement. Water flows in, water drains out. Faucets run, toilets flush, steam rises, and mirrors fog. Everything is in motion, but almost all of it moves away from you. And that's the problem. Energy follows water. Wherever water goes, energy follows. So when water is constantly rushing down the drain, so is your ki, your vital force, your clarity, your sense of direction. Now, you might not believe in energy. You might think this sounds abstract, but let's keep it grounded. Have you ever walked out of your bathroom and felt more drained than refreshed? Have you ever started the day with the best intentions, only to find yourself low energy by noon without knowing why? Have you ever had a week where money went out faster than it came in, even though nothing about your habits changed? It's not magic, it's the environment you live in. Because environments shape behavior, and behavior shapes results. And the bathroom, by its very nature, is designed to release. Its purpose is to flush, rinse, purge, and cleanse. That's good until you realize it's also flushing out the things you actually want to keep: motivation, inspiration, mental clarity, even financial momentum. There's a reason the bathroom feels different than every other room. The air is thicker. The energy hangs strangely. It's not just humidity, it's the feeling that something in the space never quite settles. Even the layout reflects this small enclosed space, multiple mirrors reflecting back and forth, drains pulling water and air downward. And without any form of energetic anchor, that pull becomes a loss you never notice until it shows up in other areas of your life. And here's where it gets personal. Because for many people, especially women over 55, life starts shifting in subtle ways. The structure that once felt solid begins to loosen. Kids move out. Retirement conversations begin. Priorities change. And in that quiet transition, there's a deep, often unspoken desire to feel grounded again, to feel like things are moving toward you, not away from you. But if your home is designed to release instead of receive, you might feel stuck and not know why. That's why the bathroom matters more than you think. It's not about superstition, it's about intention. Without a clear counterbalance, the bathroom becomes a space of constant energetic loss. not because it's bad, but because it was never given a reason to hold anything good. It simply does what it's designed to do, let go. But what if you gave it something to hold? What if, instead of only using the bathroom to rinse off, you turned it into a quiet keeper of strength, a space that didn't just take, but gave something back? That's where plants come in. Not because they're trendy, but because they're living, breathing filters of space and emotion. In a room where so much is in motion, a single-rooted plant becomes a still point. It absorbs chaos. It holds light. It says, something here is alive. Something here stays. Some plants cleanse, some protect, some awaken what's asleep. But what they all do, when placed with care, is shift the nature of a space. They interrupt the leak. They absorb the fog. They bring a softness back to a room that usually takes without asking. And that shift, subtle as it is, matters. Because when the place that used to drain you becomes the place that holds you, something in you changes too. So the next time you step into your bathroom, ask yourself, is this space silently taking more than it gives? And if the answer is yes, maybe it's time to place something there that knows how to stay. The 8 guardian plants that protect your prosperity. Group 1, when everything feels stuck. There are seasons in life where everything slows down, but not in a peaceful way. It's not stillness, it's stagnation. You wake up, but nothing moves. You try to make progress, but it's like walking through fog. The path ahead used to feel open. Lately, it feels like doors are closed, or worse, like they were never there. And the truth is, it's not always about effort. Sometimes, the environment around you is what holds you in place. Sometimes, the energy in your home is paused before you are. In moments like that, you don't need more hustle. You need flow. Not the kind that rushes you, but the kind that gently begins to move again. And for that, you need a plant that knows how to open things up. That's where the spider plant comes in. This plant doesn't announce itself. It doesn't bloom loudly or stand tall. It stretches softly its long green arms, reaching out like a quiet invitation. It's the plant of gentle movement. In energy terms, it's known to break blocks, clear clutter, and invite back the sense of motion you didn't realize you lost. Think of it as the friend who doesn't push you but shows up, opens a window, and lets fresh air in. In the bathroom, where steam clings and air often stands still, the spider plant brings lightness. Not just physically, it purifies toxins from the air, but emotionally. Its energy clears the invisible dust that gathers when you've been holding too much for too long. And one of its most powerful traits, it multiplies. Baby plants sprout like tiny green blessings. Each one a sign that movement is not only possible, it's natural. Place this plant in the north or southeast corner of your bathroom. Let it hang or sit where it can stretch. Mist it gently. Give it what it needs, and let it remind you progress doesn't always come from force. Sometimes, it starts with space. But movement without direction can still lead you nowhere. That's why flow needs a boundary. You don't just need motion, you need protection from the very energy that scattered you in the first place. That's where the second guardian comes in, the snake plant. Where the spider plant flows, the snake plant stands still, upright, sharp, unmoving. It's a plant of clear lines and clear energy. If your bathroom is where energy escapes, the snake plant says, "Not through me." Its sword-like leaves don't just decorate, they guard. In energetic language, this plant doesn't soften. It filters. It blocks. It slices through the noise. That makes it essential in rooms with drains, mirrors, humidity, and motion, all of which are invitations for energy to spiral. The snake plant is like the quiet security system of your home. You don't see it working, but you feel safer when it's there. Place it near the bathroom door, or beside the toilet where energy enters or exits most frequently. Let its tips point outward, like a silent wall. Wipe its leaves weekly. Keep it upright and thriving. And as you do, you're not just tending to a plant, you're setting a tone, a message, one that says this space is protected, this energy is mine to keep. Together, these two plants form the first layer of your prosperity field. One unlocks, one defends. And what they create between them is a space where energy begins to flow but doesn't rush out the door. Because when your life feels stuck, What you need isn't a push. It's a door that opens followed by the calm confidence that it won't slam shut again. These aren't just houseplants. They're quiet allies. They stand in the steam and the noise and the motion, and they hold the ground that you forgot to guard. So if you felt heavy lately, if your plans stall, your energy fades, or your days all blend together, start here. Start with the smallest shift. One plant that opens. One that holds. And the quiet truth that movement begins not with effort, but with space and stillness that knows how to stay. Group 2, when energy feels weak or chaotic. There are days when you feel like you're doing everything right, yet something still feels off. It's not just fatigue. It's not just the weather. It's a kind of invisible restlessness that hums underneath your skin. You walk into your home and instead of feeling held, you feel scattered. Instead of clarity, there's a fog. Instead of calm, there's noise even in silence. And what's hardest is, you can't quite name it. That's how energy chaos works. It doesn't shout, it frays. For many people, especially women, moving into their second half of life, this kind of energy disarray isn't loud or dramatic. It's subtle. It shows up in the way sleep feels thinner, in the way decisions feel harder, in the way your home, your sanctuary, doesn't quite soothe you like it used to. You tidy, you declutter, you light candles, but the heaviness returns. Because this isn't about surface mess. It's about what's happening underneath. The kind of energy that doesn't just need to be moved, it needs to be contained. That's why the next 2 guardian plants in your bathroom aren't about flow. They're about strength. About creating a quiet structure where energy can settle, be held, and be protected. Let's start with the fan palm. This plant doesn't chase attention. It doesn't bloom or stretch dramatically. It simply holds. Its broad, open leaves spread out like a shield, soft, steady, and deeply rooted. In a bathroom filled with constant movement, flushes, steam, mirrors bouncing light back and forth, the fan palm is a gentle stabilizer. It doesn't fight chaos. It absorbs it. It says to the energy in the room, you're safe to land here. You don't have to scatter anymore. What makes this plant powerful is not its force, but its ability to create a boundary without closing the space. Where other energy spirals, the fan palm spreads itself calmly, reminding the room and your body that strength doesn't always arrive with noise. Sometimes, strength is quiet containment, the kind that allows you to breathe again without knowing why. Place the fan palm in an open area of your bathroom. Let it breathe. Let it stand like a quiet companion beside the sink or near the bath. Wipe its wide leaves gently once a week. Give it filtered light and let it be what it was born to be, a living wall of peace. But sometimes, containment isn't enough. There are moments when energy doesn't just feel scattered, it feels sharp, distracting, unsettling. You walk into a space and instantly want to walk back out. That's not just mood. That's an energetic breach. And in those moments, you need a plant that doesn't just hold peace, it guards it. That's where the snake plant returns to the story. You met it in the first group, but here, its role deepens. The snake plant isn't soft. It's exact. It's tall. Pointed leaves rise like green swords, cutting through confusion and stopping the spin of energy before it takes over. If the fan palm is your steady presence, the snake plant is your silent boundary. It doesn't ask. It declares this space is protected. Nothing enters unless it uplifts. In chaotic rooms, we need order, not control, not perfection. Just the kind of energetic clarity that allows us to exhale. The snake plant gives that, and it does it without asking for much. It thrives on structure, low light, consistency. Place it near the door or beside the window. Let its upright form mark the edge of the space, not physically, but energetically. And when you care for it, when you gently wipe dust from its edges, you're not just maintaining a plant. You're maintaining a line, a threshold. Together, the fan palm and the snake plant restore balance where chaos lingers. One softens, one shields, one gathers, one filters. And what they create is not just a prettier bathroom, it's a room that begins to feel safe again. Because here's what no one tells you: safety is not just about locks and walls. It's about energy. It's about creating a space where your nervous system doesn't brace, where your thoughts don't scatter, where your presence, you're full, Grounded presence can actually stay in the room with you. So if you've been feeling easily overwhelmed, if your thoughts race, or if your home feels louder than it should be, start with structure. Start with stillness. Let the fan palm open wide. Let the snake plant stand tall. And in between them, allow yourself to be held. Because when the energy around you becomes stable again, something inside you remembers how to settle too. Group 3. When your spirit feels heavy or foggy. There are days when the body feels fine, but the spirit doesn't. You get enough sleep, but you still wake up tired. You sit in silence, but your mind keeps running. You try to focus, but everything feels a step behind, like trying to listen through a window that's just slightly fogged. It's not sadness, not stress. It's something softer, heavier, harder to name. And for many people, especially later in life, that weight doesn't come from one moment. It comes from accumulation grief that never had time to land, worry that was too quiet to interrupt the day, memories that stay lodged in the walls of your home, long after you've outgrown them. That's the kind of energy that lives in the corners. Not the mess you can see, but the weight you can feel. And one of the places it builds fastest, your bathroom. It's where you start your day, where you end it, where you take off the face you show the world. And yet, it's also where emotion lingers. Steam, enclosed walls, reflective surfaces. This space traps more than moisture. It holds on to the things you don't always have time to process. When your spirit feels heavy or foggy, it's not because you're broken. It's because something in your space is echoing back emotions that need to be cleared, not judged, not fixed, just released. And to do that, you don't need noise. You need softness. You need a quiet companion. One that purifies without pushing, one that soothes without speaking. That's the role of the peace lily. This plant is often mistaken for being just decorative, graceful white blooms, deep green leaves. But what it actually carries is the frequency of emotional repair. It absorbs what the eye can't see: stress, tension, fatigue that's sunk too deep to be named out loud. Where other plants grow boldly, the peace lily grows gently, almost as if asking permission to heal the air. And it does. Scientifically, it filters mold, bacteria, and toxins from moisture-heavy spaces. Energetically, it calms the field. It eases the pressure. It brings the breath back. Place your peace lily near soft light by a frosted window, under a warm bathroom lamp, or somewhere quiet and visible. Water it regularly, not excessively. Wipe its leaves weekly. Every time you pass by it, let it be a reminder that stillness is not the same as stuckness. Stillness is where repair begins. And if you ever feel a lump in your throat, or your chest tighten for no reason, that's not weakness. That's your body asking for softness. Let this plant provide it. But sometimes the weight isn't emotional, it's energetic. It's the weight of overthinking, of mental clutter, of too many tabs open in your mind for too long. That's when the fog doesn't feel heavy, it feels confusing. Like walking into a room and forgetting why you came. Like trying to make a choice and second-guessing it before you've even begun. When that kind of mental fog builds up, you don't need more information. You need clarity. You need grounding. That's where the Chinese evergreen becomes essential. This plant is quiet, strong, understated. But what it does is gather. It collects scattered energy, like a magnet for mental noise. In bathrooms where water moves constantly and walls echo sound, this plant stabilizes the field. It doesn't rush, it doesn't push, it simply stays. And in doing so, it gives you back a sense of presence, of calm, of mental space. Symbolically, this plant is known to absorb anxious thought patterns, especially in transitional times. When the future feels uncertain, when your role in the world starts to shift, when you're no longer chasing, but still want to feel connected, that's when Chinese evergreen shines, not with color, not with speed, but with steadiness. Its soft green and silver leaves are like gentle reminders that consistency is still a form of power. Place it in a spot that doesn't get too much light. This plant thrives in low to medium conditions. Keep the soil lightly moist, dust the leaves, and when you care for it, notice how your own breath changes. That is the power of presence. That is the beginning of clarity. Together, the peace lily and the Chinese evergreen form the heart of emotional healing in your home. One lifts the weight, one clears the fog, and in the quiet they create, you remember something important: you are not behind. You are not late. You are simply becoming ready to feel again. So if your spirit has felt heavy, if the days have been cloudy for no reason, if your body feels fine but your mind won't settle, start here. With these two plants, with this kind of softness, with the quiet work of turning your bathroom into a place not just of cleansing, but of clearing. Because when the fog begins to lift, it's not just the space that becomes lighter, it's you. Group 4. When you're ready to reset your finances or focus. There comes a point when you're ready for something to change, not because you're desperate, but because something inside you feels ready. Ready to start over, to focus better, to stop letting energy slip through the cracks. Maybe you've been spending too much, or you've just been mentally scattered, forgetting appointments, putting off things you once cared about. Or maybe it's subtler, a quiet knowing that your finances, your energy, your time, they've all been leaking, and now you're ready to gather them back. That's the moment when you don't need motivation. You need structure. Something that can hold what you're ready to build again. And that's exactly what the money tree was born to do. The money tree is one of the most iconic plants for attracting abundance, not because it's magic, but because it's rooted in symbolism that speaks deeply to the way wealth behaves. Its braided trunk represents strength through connection. How different parts of your life work, health, relationships, mindset are all tied together. When one grows stronger, the others can too. And its bright, upward-reaching leaves remind you of where energy wants to go: up, out, and into expansion. But what makes the money tree powerful isn't just its symbolism, it's the way it behaves. This is a plant that holds. It doesn't grow wild or fast. It doesn't ask for much. But it stores water in its leaves, conserving what it's given. And that's the lesson. In a room like the bathroom, where things drain constantly: water, steam, energy, the money tree becomes an anchor. It doesn't let your intentions slip away. It keeps them rooted. Place your money tree on a raised surface, never directly on the floor. Let it be slightly elevated, to reflect the upward direction of your goals. Avoid putting it right next to the toilet or in dark corners. Instead, position it near soft light, a frosted window, a bathroom vanity, or a small lamp that mimics daylight. Wipe the leaves often. Keep them free of dust, because dust isn't just physical. In Feng Shui, dust represents stuck energy. Let this plant teach you to tend to your wealth like a living system, regularly, intentionally, and with care. And here's the quiet truth: the money tree doesn't just attract wealth, it stabilizes it. When your income feels unpredictable, when spending rises and savings fall behind, when you feel like you're working hard but not gaining traction, this plant helps shift your energy from chasing to keeping. From reaction to stewardship. It reminds you that abundance is not just about having more. It's about honoring what you already have. But while the money tree holds, there's one more guardian that brings something equally important: the ability to restore. Because sometimes, the reason you're scattered isn't financial, it's emotional, it's mental. You've been giving too much, saying yes too often, carrying too many invisible things. And in that state, even the best budgeting or time planning won't help. What you need is a reset from the inside out. That's the quiet wisdom of aloe vera. This plant is built for survival. It thrives in dry or humid conditions. It stores water deep within, not to hoard but to nourish when the environment forgets how to. That's what makes aloe vera so sacred. It teaches resilience without rigidity. Its energy isn't urgent, it's preserved, focused, clear. In your bathroom, aloe vera does more than purify. It stabilizes. Where the money tree anchors external flow, aloe vera helps you hold your internal focus. It reminds you not to overwater, not to overextend, not to overcompensate. And when you look at its thick, waxy leaves, you can feel it: the ability to say no, to pause, to protect what matters most. Place your aloe vera somewhere that gets indirect light, like a bathroom window or near a gentle heat source. Let the soil dry out between waterings. This plant thrives on moderation, not excess. And every time you see it, let it be a mirror. How are you tending to your energy today? Are you pouring too much out? Or are you conserving what truly feeds you? Together, the money tree and aloe vera don't rush you. They don't push for more. They simply hold space for the moment you choose to reset. One gathers your focus, the other protects it, and in their quiet companionship, they offer you something far more valuable than urgency: clarity without chaos, growth without pressure, wealth that doesn't leave when you're not looking. So if you felt scattered lately, if your finances feel unsteady, or your focus keeps slipping, don't start with a spreadsheet. Start with space. Start with care. Start with the living reminders that true abundance is built in silence, steadiness, and the soft decision to begin again. Where to place each plant, it's not just about looks. Most people decorate their home with good intentions. A candle here, a plant there, a shelf you arrange and step back from, hoping it feels right. But when it comes to energy, especially in a room like the bathroom, placement isn't about pretty. It's about purpose. You could have the most powerful plant in the world, but if you place it in the wrong corner, its energy won't flow. It won't guard. It won't anchor. It'll just sit there alive, but disconnected. That's why where you place each plant matters just as much as which one you choose.
Think of your bathroom like a map.
Energy enters, energy leaves. Some areas hold motion. Some hold stillness. Your job isn't to fight that movement, it's to guide it. To gently shift it from chaotic to calm, from draining to restoring. And each plant becomes a small guardian of one piece of that map. Let's start with the snake plant. This one belongs at the energetic entry points, right beside the bathroom door, next to the toilet, or opposite the window. These are places where energy comes in fast or escapes quickly. The snake plant's upright leaves act like swords cutting through noise, blocking confusion, holding the boundary. If your bathroom feels like a space where your thoughts race or your focus disappears, place this plant near the exit routes. Let it quietly say, "No more leaks." Now the fan palm. It needs room. This is your container. Your calm. Place it in a corner with space around it, somewhere it can spread gently without being shoved between clutter. Ideally, not near drains or mirrors. You want it to soften, not reflect. This plant works best near the center of the room, or beside your tub if there's enough space. When placed correctly, it creates a soft wall gathering scattered energy and offering your body a space to settle. Peace lily belongs near emotional buildup. That's usually close to where you start or end the day, by the sink, near the mirror, or beside your towel shelf. It should be in your line of sight. You want it to be what your eyes land on when your heart feels tight. Don't hide it behind doors or curtains. Give it soft light. Let it breathe. It will absorb more than toxins, it will absorb the weight you didn't even know you were carrying. For the Chinese evergreen, find the corners where air feels still, where dust settles more often, places where you forget to look. Maybe it's the space behind the toilet, the lower shelf, the nook beside a closed cabinet. These are the fog zones, areas that collect sluggish energy. This plant thrives there, not just physically but energetically. It gathers the scattered. It brings mental focus back to the room without asking for attention. Spider plant and pothos both love the edges, the high corners, the places where flow begins. If your bathroom has a shelf near the ceiling, a small hanging rack, or even a high window ledge, let one of these plants trail. Spider plant works best when placed in the north or southeast corners of your bathroom, connected to career and wealth energy. Pothos loves to cascade, so let it do what it does naturally: move. These are your movers. Place them where energy needs help getting unstuck. Now, for the money tree, elevation is key. Never place it directly on the floor or next to plumbing. You want this plant to feel like it's rising. Find a small stool, a shelf, or a vanity top. Give it soft light, not harsh glare. Avoid placing it in front of the mirror, where its energy can bounce too quickly. Let it grow upward, as a symbol of your financial goals, not rushed, not reactive, just consistent and strong. Finally, aloe vera is your stabilizer. It doesn't like too much attention. Place it somewhere calm, by the window if there's natural light, or under a soft lamp if not. Aloe thrives on balance, so don't place it between too many competing energies, like near multiple mirrors or beside the toilet. Instead, Find a space that feels forgotten and let this plant quietly guard it. Because here's the truth, every home leaks energy somewhere. Every bathroom holds layers you've stopped noticing. And every plant you place becomes a small signal not just to your space, but to yourself. A message that says this matters. I matter. What stays and what leaves can be chosen. And that choice begins with where you let things root. 1-minute ritual to wake the plant and anchor the wealth. There's a difference between having a plant in your space and having it with you. One is decoration. The other is connection. And when it comes to shifting energy, especially in a room like the bathroom, you don't need more stuff. You need intention. You need one moment that tells the space, the plant, and your own spirit we're beginning something new. This is that moment. And it only takes a minute. Choose one plant. Just one. The one you were most drawn to. Don't overthink it. This is not about picking the perfect one. It's about recognizing what resonates, what softens you, what feels right. Even if you can't explain why, stand in front of it, not rushed, not multitasking, just there still, quiet, present. Gently place one hand on a leaf. Let your palm rest against its surface, not to control, but to feel. Notice its temperature, its shape, the quiet pulse of life inside something that asks for nothing but care. Now close your eyes and take 3 slow breaths. Not deep, just slow. Let the first inhale arrive like morning light. Let the first exhale carry out whatever the day hasn't made room for. With each breath, imagine energy rising not from the outside world, but from within you. Not something you're calling in, something you're finally allowing. And when the breath feels steady, speak softly, not as a wish, not as a command, just as a quiet agreement between you and this living anchor. I invite prosperity into this space. I allow abundance to stay. Say it once, or twice, or however many times it feels needed. You'll know. And then stop. Don't overextend the moment. Let it land. Let the energy settle. Let the silence do the rest. Because this is not a chant. It's not a performance. It's a calibration. From that moment on, your plant isn't just in the room. It holds the room. It listens. It breathes with you. It becomes part of the atmosphere that steadies your days and slows what used to slip away. Return to this ritual anytime something feels off. When energy gets scattered. When finances feel unsteady. When your mind won't settle. Or simply when you forget. Because abundance doesn't just arrive when conditions are perfect. It arrives when you're present enough to hold it. And this ritual, small as it seems, is your signal to start holding again. Final. You've just journeyed through 8 quiet guardians, each one alive, each one carrying a message not just for your home, but for your inner world. And if you've made it here, it means you already feel what most people overlook, that your space is not just where you live, it's where your energy lives too. The bathroom may seem like the least sacred place in the house, but maybe that's the point. Because the places we take for granted are often where the deepest shifts begin. The mirror where we rush past our reflection. The steam that fogs more than just glass. The faucet that runs while our thoughts drift somewhere far away. These everyday moments, quiet, unnoticed, are where energy is always choosing to stay or to leave. And now you've seen what can happen when you choose to guide it. When you place a plant not for beauty, but for balance. When you touch a leaf not for show, but for stillness. When you speak a sentence not for tradition, but to anchor something real. This isn't about superstition. It's about design, energetic design. Environments affect our focus, our emotions, even our decisions. That's not spiritual theory, it's neuroscience. When your nervous system senses visual clutter, scattered layout, or undefined space, it stays alert. When it senses grounding greenery, intention, stillness, it calms. And when your nervous system calms, so does your mind, so does your breath. And that's when clarity returns. That's when your life begins to flow again. So whether you're here to reset your finances, to find a clearer headspace, to release emotions you didn't have words for, or simply to reconnect with your home in a softer way, thank you. Thank you for walking through this quietly powerful process with me. Because every ritual starts the same way, not with noise, not with pressure, but with presence. And the fact that you've watched, listened, maybe even placed a hand on a leaf means you've already started. I wish for you a home that holds you, a mirror that reflects ease, a morning that begins with quiet clarity, and a plant just one that knows how to stay when everything else wants to rush away. Take your time, tend gently, and remember what stays grows.